What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here, and we are back playing Warframe, and we got some stuff to talk about today, and that is basically information that is not data mine, not whatever. It is information given to us by Digital Extremes, and that is regarding what content we will be getting, what appears to be next week. One of those things being Harrow, and I will put a picture up here. This is the title screen for this website, which is, like I said, given to us by Digital Extreme. So I will have a link in the description if you want to check all of this out for yourself. I suggest it because we will be seeing some statistics on weapons, and if you really want to look Harrow's abilities in more depth, you can on this website. But here's the title screen. Chains of Harrow, coming next week. So this was given out sometime in the afternoon on June 23rd, and 2017, obviously, because, you know, if it's 2018, this is super old. But, and it is going, this video is going up on the 24th, so the next day. But there is quite a bit of information that is going to be revealed on this, this page, which is coming out next week, like I said. But like I said, one of them being Harrow. So, I have, just so you guys are aware, I do have a page. I have a page set up next to me so that I can make sure that I cover all the details of what is coming out for the update. But just as a heads up, because this is what I do in every episode, is I make sure that I let you guys know what frame and what setup I am basically running for every video. So, without further ado, this is my Ember Prime. She's got that cyst on her neck because I have, honestly, I have a little bit of a conspiracy that I believe is going to have something to do with these cysts in the future. And this might not happen, but, you know, I got a little bit of a theory. But, I've talked about that before. Maybe I'll talk about it again if you guys want to hear it. But, anywho, here's another picture of Harrow, and we can see in this picture, number one, a nice close-up of Harrow and his his alternate helmet, as well as one of the weapons that will be coming out in this this update coming up. So, and that is this throwing spear, which we will talk about in just a little while. I forgot the name of it, but I will show you guys when we get to it, and we talk about the stats a little bit. But yeah, so Harrow, there he is, with you know, we've seen quite a bit of him. This is honestly, this Warframe, I think, has been shown like physically, not just concept art, but has shown his skills probably more than any other frame in the game, just because he's been a work in progress for quite a while. But anyways, I'm gonna scroll down and I'll have another picture for you guys. Okay, so his abilities, quite a few pictures actually. His abilities. First off, his first ability is Condemn, and it says cast a wave of energy that claims, or that chains them where they stand. Each enemy held reinforces Harrow's shields. So you will be able to see this more in detail if you want to jump over to this website that I have in the description, and you can see each one of these skills a little bit in action. They don't show them too extensively, but you get a little clip of each one of these and how they generally will be working. But a second ability is Penance. Sacrifice shield to boost reload and fire rate while converting damage inflicted on enemies into health for Harrow and nearby allies. So that's because he's doing a shield thing. That's going to be good. Giving a boost or, you know, replenishment to your ally shields is going to be kind of a staple when it comes to Harrow. So his third ability is Thurible. We've kind of seen this quite a bit, and it's probably been tweaked differently in every iteration that we've seen so far. But as it stands, it says, Thurible. Channel Harrow's energy into the Thurible to generate a buff. Once finished, kill enemies to bestow nearby allies with bursts of energy. The more energy channeled, the greater the reward of each kill. Headshots produce extra energy. So, once again, there's a lot of info there. But if you want to see it in action, feel free to do that on the page. But we've seen it quite a bit previously, and from what I've seen, you basically are gonna, I'm gonna say juggle. You kind of twirl this thurible around quite a bit. You get this this specific point value that you're gonna get, and when you attack enemies, especially on headshots, you'll produce refunded energy, which is gonna be good. That's gonna help you yourself as Harrow get your energy back, which is going to allow you to, number one, use these other abilities for shields and all that other stuff. So a good support, a support frame in my opinion. But let's see. And lastly is Covenant. Now, this appears at first glance much like Neja's ultimate, where Neja drives a spike through enemies and kind of leaves them disabled and allows for some easy targets. But Covenant, protect nearby allies with an energy force that absorbs all damage and converts it to critical chance bonus for all of those on the... is that the right one I'm thinking of? No, Condemn, wait. Okay. Oh no, number one is chains enemies where they stand. So it seems like a more minor, his first ability seems like a minor version of Neja's ultimate, and that refunds shields. For whatever reason, I mixed up these, which was why I was confused at first. I was like, is Harrow's ultimate really going to be that similar to Neja's ultimate? And it's not. Sorry about that. But Covenant, yeah, let me repeat that. Protect nearby allies with an energy force that absorbs all damage and converts to critical chance bonus for all those under the Covenant. Headshots amplified even further. So that's going to be similar to Thurible, but it's going to be projected onto your allies, so that your allies can refund their energy, which is great. I mean, a good way for your allies to refund energy outside of how Trinity does her energy refund. That's good. It looks like we are going to be seeing a fairly decent support frame. Maybe not necessarily healing, because healing I feel like has too much to do with health, but a support frame in the variety or the ways of shields instead of shields and energy instead of health and energy like Trinity is. Alright, so I'm going to continue on my defense just so we can talk about some more stuff. I'm just running for ducats because the exclusive Barrow will be coming shortly. And I hate to jump off the topic of Harrow, but just very momentarily, it sounds like I heard in the prime time that now all ticket holders, no matter what ticket holder you have decided to pick up if you are going to TennoCon or getting the digital pack, it sounds like any ticket holder is going to get access to Barrow Katir's exclusive shop over the TennoCon weekend. And I'm excited about that because I think there are a couple mods that I missed out on that I was hoping I would get the chance to get. So yeah, if you are a ticket holder of any kind, it sounds like you will be able to get access to Barrow Katir, which is nice. But anyways, back to Harrow. I think we still have some more Harrow details. So let me scroll down on my page real quick and get to some more of that. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, so Chains of Harrow quest. So the quest that is going to be tied to to Harrow himself is called Chains of Harrow. And from this picture that I'll be putting on the screen, Harrow looks more sinister than I felt like he originally looked, especially with this red, maroon color. Harrow looks very sinister, much more Red Veil than he's kind of been shown previously. In this picture, like I said, he looks very sinister, so... but it does say, Chains of Harrow quest will appear in the Codex for those who have completed the War Within and unlocked Mott in the Void. So, it sounds like you will have to make it to Mott as well as have completed the War Within. So if you have not done that, now's a good time. I feel like you maybe don't rush it, though. If you are trying to get other frames and whatnot, while Harrow, you know, is the newest, latest, and greatest frame that's coming out, and when I say latest and greatest, I mean, you know what I mean. You may not want to kind of forego the experience of Warframe and, like, taxi yourself far enough into the game to do these quests. I feel like the experience of Warframe, you know, is kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but it's definitely altered if you decide to taxi your way all the way through a lot of these missions. Soak up the lore, get involved in the game, and try not to, like, taxi yourself all the way to endgame content. I understand maybe taxiing, you know, to the next boss to try and get a new Warframe or something like that, but don't forego, like, the quests and all the really good, you know, the good lore, plump, you know, good stuff, just for the sake of getting a frame. Anyways, with that said, dual wield, thrown melee, and secondary weapons. So the whole idea of us being able to hold a melee weapon and a secondary is coming our way. But I believe that these are only going to be glaive, thrown weapons, the glaive weapons, as well as, I don't know if they're going to do all secondaries. I mean, they're going to have to somehow make it, you know, obviously you're not going to be able to dual wield akimbo, you know, whatever, the akboltos, and have a thrown weapon, you know what I mean? So there's going to be a version of, obviously, a thrown weapon in one hand and a secondary in the other. And eventually, I guess they're going to make it so that you'll be able to have non-thrown melee weapons in one of your hands as well as your secondaries. But I don't believe that's coming in this new update. That's a little ways out. But yeah, if you're looking forward to that, I mean, it's a cool change of pace. But honestly, I have a hard enough time changing my weapons in battle. I never really think about it. So that's something I just need to get used to. And probably something I won't be taking advantage of until I get used to the new, you know, the new dynamic in the game. But let me switch real quick once again in the page. All right. Okay, Earth Remaster. I got a picture of that. You guys know that that's coming, so I'm not gonna dwell on that. Earth Remaster is coming. There's a picture here, and there are a couple extra pictures if you want to go to the URL in the description. Next up is the Nox. The Nox enemy. So, Nox, he's that weird toxic enemy that is being introduced to the game, and I think it's going to be a cool enemy. I think it's going to be kind of a little bit of a change, and it's going to kind of change up the way we might approach, you know, a cell of enemies. And a cell is a group of enemies that spawn, and they kind of move. They move about in a group, or they split up from time to time, like for objectives and whatnot. But they typically spawn together, and when these guys, you know, start coming at you, or they spawn in and they start moving into your vicinity, you may have to change how you would usually approach the Grineer than you used to, because this is a Grineer unit, and it's cool. I mean, it's a good change of pace. I'm excited about it. I'm a little curious about its weak spot. I know that it's incredibly weak to headshots, but you have to, I guess, break through its glass You know, its glass helmet, its glass face shield, if you want to call it, and get in there to the headshot. Kind of like the Corpus, how you shoot off their helmet and then they have a thing. Similar to that, except it is going to be a glass structure, and his head is going to be underneath. But he leaves a toxic cloud behind. I believe it's toxic and not corrosive. Yeah, it says explode into a lethal cloud, but it does not say toxic or corrosive, but I believe it is toxic. But that's pretty interesting. Melee ribbon mods are also coming, and it sounds like they're going to increase the chance of ribbon drops from a 20% drop rate to a 25% drop rate, which isn't a huge change, but it's a change for everybody, including myself, that is eager to get ribbon mods and just has the worst luck. I'm glad that they're going to be a little bit more common drops. Part of me also believes they shouldn't be too common, because obviously the more likely it is for you to get a ribbon, the less likely it is for you to get, let's say, a legendary core or some of the more rare like sortie rewards. So I'm glad that, like I said, they are more common, but they're not too common, so that's pretty cool. Next up is... Okay, we're gonna talk weapons. The Knell, it's spelled Knell, and it says ring the death knell? What does that even mean? I don't know. Headshots briefly turn this scoped pistol into a rapid-fire critical damage fiend that uses no ammo. So that's cool. It's a gimmick. Is it a good gimmick? I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. But we do have stats. I'll roll through them fairly quickly. Now, these are stats that have been given to us by Digital Extremes. So, this isn't data mined. You know, obviously this could be subject to change. But the fact that Digital Extremes themselves have given us these statistics, these are pretty legit. These are not, you know, guesses. These are not data mines. These are like Digital Extremes has the intention of releasing them with these stats, and obviously they're subject to tweaks if, you know, if they show up and we find a way to exploit them for massive damage or something like that. But these are pretty legit, so just keep that in mind when I read off these stats. So the Knell has a 32.0 accuracy. I'm not too sure exactly what that means. I guess it's because of its burst fire capabilities or whatever it says. I don't know, whatever. Critical chance of 20%, not bad. Critical multiplier of 1.5, not amazing. Fire rate of 4.0, which, I don't know. I mean, if it's a burst shot, 4.0 kind of makes sense if it's between bursts, but if it's between shots in bursts, that sounds a little odd. But it has a magazine of 1, which is where I'm kind of confused. Now, it says that it doesn't use ammo with, what was a critical hit or a headshot or whatever. Let me just go back to that stat and see that. Yeah, critical damage consumes no ammo, so that 1 magazine capacity is going to be basically irrelevant as long as you crit, which is very possible to set this build up for a decent crit build. So consider that. But I don't know, maybe a little gimmicky. We'll have to find out when it comes out. But it's alarming. Shots are going to be alarming, which is, I mean, that's to be expected. For the most part, very few weapons are completely silent. But reload is a 1.0, very quick. I'm assuming it's just going to be like a pop, or something like. I mean, it's quick. 1.0. Come on. Status is only 5%. So on your statuses, if you were hoping for a status build, I mean, I won't say you can't get status procs because obviously it's possible, but building a status build might not be the greatest way to go. That's up to you. And it's going to be semi-automatic, which makes sense because it only has one round in the magazine. It can't be. How do you? Okay. Anyways, impact damage 63, solid. Puncture damage 69. Yeah, we all. No, never mind. That's good. And slash damage 18. So it's going to be a impact puncture based weapon, but that's a lot of damage. Altogether, that is going to be 132, 150 base damage total. I don't know. I can't math right now. But yeah, that's pretty solid. And it does say test balance stats. Actually, with a little asterisk below all of this. So, like I said, it is subject to change. You know, in the future. But next up is the Scourge, and the Scourge is a thrown weapon, just like the Javelok, right? Yeah, Javelok, and it says, all right, let's just get into the description. Blast targets with a corrosive plasma projectiles, or toss the scepter to inflict nearby enemies with an energy field that amplifies their brainwaves to attract bullets. So it's kind of going to be like Mag's ability, the bullet attractor or whatever, but for, I guess, targets in an area of this thrown weapon when it, you know, when it's thrown near a group, similar to the new Corpus thrown weapon, except that one tethers and this one does this bullet attractor. But that sounds kind of cool. Gimmicky? Maybe. But I am excited about the bullet attractor because you get them Gorgons and Gorgon Wraiths, or you maybe just have terrible accuracy like me. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I can nail some shots, but sometimes I'm just not able for some reason. But I have my days. But anyways, let's get into stats. But I need to scroll down real quick for that. Bam. Boop. Alright, so accuracy, 100% good. I mean, I'm glad our shots aren't going to be all over the place. Critical chance is 2%. Goodbye, crit build. Not happening. I mean, you could try. I don't suggest it. Crit multiplier, 1.5. I mean, I'm not expecting the crit anyways, or so. Fire rate is 2.67, subject to change. I don't know why that's a thing. Can you go kill this guy down here, please, so I can continue on with my my defense and we can get out of here? There we go. Yeah, 2.67. I don't know. It doesn't seem. It's not slow. It's slower than, you know, fully automatic weapons, and, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's all that bad for probably a pretty decent, like, projectile corrosive weapon, because it is going to be 60 corrosive damage. Is its only real stat. It doesn't have any other damage type tied to it, which I'm not a big fan of, but I don't know. People like it, so it's alright. It's got a magazine of 20, so we're going to be able to send out quite a few of these corrosive projectiles before we need to reload. And speaking of reloads, 2.5 seconds for a reload. It's not the worst, but it's also not that fast. It's going to be faster than your Gorgons and I believe even the Soma. The Soma is relatively lengthy. I believe it is close to 3 seconds. I could be wrong. But it's not going to be terrible. But this is the upside. Status percent status chance of 30%. Because it is a corrosive weapon, that's kind of to be expected. But plan on throwing some status chance on this bad boy and seeing if you can get it to 100%. I'm pretty sure you can with a 30% build or a 30% base. Pretty sure you can get above 100% easily. Now, if that's going to fit your playstyle is up to you. But without, you know, slash, puncture, and impact, you're probably going to be able to pull this off with like a corrosive heat build or even corrosive blast if you really want to go that way. You know, it's up to you. So that is going to be the projectile fire. Its thrown stats are going to be a little bit different. Its accuracy is going to be wonky, just like the Javlock. The Javlock's is pretty bad, and this one is very similar. The accuracy is 16.7, so it's not going to be the most accurate throw in the world, but I found them to be tolerable, but don't expect it to headshot an enemy, you know, from long range. It's just, you know, not very likely. Charge rate is only half a second, not bad. Crit chance is only going to go up to 4%, don't count on it. Crit multiplier is going to go up to two times, but don't count on it. Fire rate 1, which isn't that charge rate? Doesn't that like pretty much go hand in hand? I don't know. Fire rate is 1 second. Magazine for a thrown, that doesn't have anything to do with thrown, but I guess there's a stat there. You can't throw 20 of these things. You have to throw 1 and go get it, so that's weird. It's alarming, obviously. Reload, I guess, is how long it takes for you to literally pick it up off the ground and have it ready to be thrown again or shot, is 0.6 seconds. Status is still at 30%. It's a charge, of course, but with its thrown capability, you are getting a 455 points to impact, 72.5 to puncture, 122.5 to slash, and 50 points to corrosive. So that's something. That's, and when I say that's something, that's a thrown weapon that can deal some damage. Absolutely. That's you know, I have an Ember built around a thrown Javlock, and then followed up by melees to close the gap between me and my thrown weapon to retrieve it. And the Javlock already is a solid thrown weapon. This thing, from what I can tell, I mean, correct me in the comments if you guys know the stats off the top of your head, just so that people can reference it. Let me know in the comments what the Javlock stats are, or if you want to check and compare the two, feel free to do that yourself. But I believe this is considerably stronger than the Javlock. I might be wrong. Like it's very possible I'm wrong, but I don't know. I am excited about the capabilities of this weapon, for sure, especially the corrosive dealio with its, you know, primary fire in a 30-round magazine. I like it. Sorry, I'm kind of struggling right now because I'm trying to do two things at once. But lastly is going to be, well, this, not necessarily lastly, but this is the last thing on the page, is the Knave, which is a Syandana that is going to be released with Harrow, and I'm assuming you're going to be able to put it on whatever frame you want. But the Knave is going to be a Syandana that you can acquire, and it looks pretty decent. We have a picture up for you guys on the screen, so I'm a sucker for Syandanas, so if you are too, hopefully this piques your interest. I like it. It's not, you know, it's not revolutionary, but I'm eager to fashion frame it up a little bit with one of these. But I'm getting to that point where I shouldn't be struggling, but I'm doing too much at once, so I'm gonna throw a Spectre out. But yeah, that is everything tied to this URL and this page. But I do want to mention, I already mentioned Borrow is going to be accessible in the as this exclusive shop to all TennoCon holders. If you really want to get into this the store and you haven't picked up a digital pack for TennoCon, that's one good way to get access to his store. I'm not, I'm just saying. It's not necessary. If you don't need to get Borrow and you don't plan on watching TennoCon, I mean, it's up to you if it's worth the purchase. But anyways, on top of that, this is going to be not sponsored. This is going to be just literally. I don't know how many people are going to talk about this, and I believe it's been tweeted out. So if you do follow the Warframe page, I believe either Rebecca tweeted this out, or Play Warframe or Warframe or whatever on Twitter tweeted this out. But it is the fact that Twitch Prime, if you guys are a big fan of Twitch, Twitch Prime members, I believe any Twitch Prime members will have access to it, not just new Prime members. I could be wrong, but when June 29th, which is 5 days from when this video comes out, I believe if you are a Twitch Prime member, now this may not be free trials, I don't know, you're gonna have to look this up for yourself, but if you are a Twitch Prime member, you will get Frost Prime and an exclusive Syandana. And it looks like this is not the Syandana that came with Frost Prime. This is an exclusive 100%, exclusive Syandana for being a Twitch Prime member. So, if you are already a Twitch Prime member, I'm just letting you know. If you plan on becoming a Twitch Prime member, I guess I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. Trust me. I'm just informing you guys. If you are going to become a Twitch Prime member, if you do it within the time frame, which is, I believe, June 29th to July 26th or something like that. It's almost a month long. You will get Frost Prime and the Syandana. Now look into it because, like I said, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm not getting paid to say nothing. You guys don't have to spend a dime if you don't want to. I've kind of contemplated recently giving up on cable, and I've considered getting like one of those Amazon Fire Sticks, and as long as you pay for Amazon Prime, you get like the Amazon the movies and all that stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I might, I don't know. I'm just letting you know that there's an all-in-one package if you are one of the Amazon Fire Stick, buyers or whatever, and you have Twitch Prime, or you are a frequent Twitch user and you have Twitch Prime, or you plan on getting Twitch Prime, just letting you know there could be a Frost Prime in there for you coming up. But anyways, you don't have to do nothing. You don't got to do nothing. I'm not here to sell you anything. Just here to inform you guys of what's going on in Warframe, and that's technically a Warframe update. So, anyways, sorry, that was super rambly. I didn't have any. I kind of just saw that earlier, and I don't know much about it. I didn't do a ton of research on it, so I kind of just threw it out there for you guys to check out for yourselves. There was more info that I could see when it comes to this Harrow update, and there was actually a web page that I could pretty much read from. So, that's all the information for you guys. I'm gonna try and get to wave 20 without freaking goofing it up. This is my ducket farm, 20 waves. I've been ducket farming for a while now because there's not a whole lot to do in game right now. I need to farm for Oberon and all that, but basically I go do my ducket farming, and then I go get syndicate points, and then I buy relics, and then I wait for the next day to do my syndicates over again, and buy more relics, and run more ducats. So, pretty boring stuff. So yeah, there's the Warframe stuff. Just real quick, selfish plug a little bit, but if anyone also tunes in for my Final Fantasy XIV stuff, I'm sorry I haven't had an episode of that up in the last few days, because apparently Final Fantasy XIV is going through a DDoS attack right now in North America, and servers are very unsteady. At least the server that I'm on is very unsteady. And at the same time, Stormblood just came out, so servers are super full, and I have to run a dungeon, and there are not a lot of people running the old content, which is where I am in game. So, oh god, please get my, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I have to wait quite a while in order to get a party together to run this dungeon, and that's if the server holds up. So that video might be delayed for a little while, but I'm gonna try and get you a lot of other content in the meantime. And because Harrow is coming out soon, we'll get a lot of stuff done when it comes to Harrow. So look forward to that. Boom. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this is gonna be one of the last couple guys, because I am ready to bounce on out of here. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. This was pretty lengthy, but man, they showed us a lot of stuff, and man, TennoCon's coming up, and there's probably gonna be a lot of TennoCon, stuff coming. So, man, we're in for content galore. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is a terrible reward, but YOLO. Until next time, extract. Blow!